What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I recently picked up the Shadow Systems XR920. Now, we, as in California, just got this added to the roster. Now, I believe it was like maybe late last year, fourth quarter last year, that it was announced that Shadow Systems will be bringing, adding firearms to the California roster. And I thought it was cool, anything new that's coming to California, because we are very restricted. We have something called a roster, which means only guns that are approved here in California can be purchased here and sent in and bought by us. So we are very restricted. You watch all these videos of these people in these free states that are doing these gun reviews. I mean, you can literally fall in love watching somebody's review, and you're falling in love with something that you really can't have. So it's kind of crazy. We're very limited, but so when something is added to the roster, and there have been a lot of companies coming to California, big shout out to them, which is cool, SIG is adding a lot to the roster. I know they're going through a lot right now with their P320, but anyway, it's still a good thing to have more options available for us who are, pretty restricted here in California. And Shadow Systems was one of the newest arrivals to the roster. And to be honest, initially when I saw the Shadow System, I was like, okay, cool. It's another, it's a Glock clone. And I was like, it's another thing added to the roster for us out here in Californians to buy. And I never really had any intentions of buying it, because basically I'm a Glock guy. If you watch all my videos, I'm a Glock fanboy. So pretty much it comes out of the box like pretty Gucci. So let me get into it and show you guys what it is, and I'll show you why. Initially, I really had no intentions of getting one until I saw something about a specific one, and it was just like I had to get it. So here in California, when we go to our FFL to pick up a firearm, we fill out our 4473. We pay everything, whatever it costs. We pay all that plus taxes, plus an extra excise tax, and we don't even walk out of the FFL with our firearm. So we got to wait 10 days. So when I went to go actually start the process for the firearm and told the guy what I wanted, he went to the bag, he came out and he had this cardboard box in his hand. I was like, oh, are you serious? Like, as nice as Shadow Systems are, they're going to put their stuff, they're going to package their guns in a cardboard box, but he actually opened it and pulled out a pretty sweet bag. I mean, a bag is a bag. It's not a case, it's not a, polymer case, but I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, people don't really reuse, I don't know. I know at least I don't reuse the packaging that my firearms come in and just go off into the corner or in the closet or something. But yeah, this was the bag. And so opening up, let me show you the contents. You are going to get your extra back strap. So it has a back strap on it, obviously, and it's going to come with a regular, a medium, and a large back strap. So it comes with Magpul magazines, not actual Glock magazines. So there's one in the gun and an extra one. So you're going to get two. You're going to get your safety lock. Now this is your Loctite. And you're gonna get your screws for your mounting plate. So whatever mounting plate you come with, this is their universal mount slide cut. So you're gonna get whatever mount you get. I'm sorry, whatever optic you purchase, you're gonna either have to put one of these spacers in the front or behind it for their universal, slide cut. So this is that. You got your Shadow Systems sticker. You got your specific to California literature is just going over safety, and a lot of our products have this Proposition 65 warning on it if it has anything that could cause cancer in it. It tells you about your loading chamber indicator, which not every state gets that. And then here's your Shadow Systems literature right here. So getting into it, the gun is going to come in with your chamber flag, and this is the XR920, and I am in love. So this thing out of the box comes with everything that I already do to a lot of my Glocks. Okay, you can see that it's empty. So yeah, like I'm huge on, you know, stipple job, getting rid of the Gen 3 finger grooves, double undercut, you know, the accelerator cut that's stippled as well. You know, the beaver tail extended beaver tail on here. Get a little some nip on it. Slide cuts, you know, front serrations, it's got little top serrations, of course your rear serrations. I'm huge on optics, so I would have gotten a new Glock optic cut right here. Anyway, pretty trick barrel, and it's coming with, let's see if I can get that, suppressor height sights. See the tritium front sight right there. There we go. But yeah, and this thing is trick out of the box. So yes, it's the California version. So of course it's gonna come with that. Focus on that right there. That loaded chamber indicator, and it's got a magazine disconnect. So when there's no mag in there, of course, you're not gonna get anything. So with the mag, you are gonna get trigger press. So we'll go over that. So this is the trigger. I mean, to me, kind of feels, before it's broken in, kind of feels a little gritty, like a stock Glock trigger. That's something at the wall. And there we go, there's the brake. Reset. We'll take up. Reset. A little bit of travel. There you go. But of course, with the magazine disconnect, I wouldn't be able to demonstrate that without a mag in there. So this gun already comes with everything I already do to my Glocks. So out of the box, everything that this has, I've already done to a few of my Glocks. So I get my Glocks optic cut. We got 19C optic cut. For YouTube purposes, we are clear. OD green Glock 17 right here, optic cut. We are clear. OD green 19 G19 optic cut, and it is also clear. You never forget your first. I have a lot of rounds with this one, but my first Gen 3 Glock 19, of course, optic cut. So I put optics on a lot of my guns, but not all of them. Glock 17 is gonna stay this way. Only thing I'm putting on here is the light. And you know, you got the plastic Glock sights, which are pretty trash, but they do the job. So this thing is gonna get an optic on it. As you can see by the other firearms, everything pretty much has a slide cut and stippling. Slide cut on the Glock 19C. All I did was front serration to that. Stippling just has a slide cut on it. Top window, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock window. Front serrations. These are all Gen 3s, which do not come with any front serration. Here we go. Front texture, not necessarily serrations. And it is an aftermarket slide cut. And we've got stippling on this one. So this thing pretty much comes with everything that I already do to my firearms. So a few more things that this gun has that I already do to my firearms is magwell. Magwell for fast reloads. Magwell. And magwell. So it was kind of like also everything that has an optic, not go through my guns again. Everything that has an optic, they have suppressor height sights. So like I said, this is something that I wouldn't have to throw any more money into other than an optic and a light, which I have already purchased. But even with all that being said, I was not initially sold on this firearm, well, on the Shadow Systems period, because I was like, you know, I have a few Glocks. I've already thrown a lot of money into Glocks. Still a Glock fanboy, but I really didn't have any intentions on purchasing any more Gen 3 Glocks, because it was just like, you know, they are what they are. I like them, but I don't think I need any more. Now, what really sold me on these was when I was looking at the actual models, and I saw that the XR920 was their hybrid between I guess like a Glock 17 grip, not necessarily the entire frame, just the grip, a full size firearm grip, and a compact slide. So it's a hybrid between the Glock 17 and the Glock 19. And being from California, knowing that we would probably never get any Gen 5s out here, because I was watching a video and someone mentioned that they spoke to Glock at one of the what do you call that? At one of the SHOT Shows. I don't know if it was this year or last year. And supposedly the Glock representative told him that Glock had no intentions of making any changing up their production for California, which, you know, changing up their production to send firearms to California, they would have to add loaded chamber indicators and magazine disconnects. So after hearing that, I was just, you know, like, wow, okay, we're never going to get anything outside of Gen 3s here in California. So even with Shadow Systems announcing they were coming to California last year, I was like, you know, I'm still cool. But what actually, you know, sold it for me was the fact that I know I would love to have a standard frame and compact slide firearm, i.e. the 19X or the G45. And once I found out that this was pretty much those same firearms, I just had to pick it up. So it was a no-brainer. Once my local FFL announced that they had some in, reserved one online, went down a couple of days later, started the paperwork, picked it up, and now I have myself this beautiful XR920. And the only thing I'm going to do to it is a light and an optic, which have already been purchased. So I will be doing a initial 200 round break-in. Now Shadow Systems, they do suggest that you break their guns in with 200 rounds of they say plus P type ammo. So, you know, I don't have, you know, 200 rounds of plus P would be pretty expensive. So I think I will definitely break it in with 124 grain and go from there, see how it is. Some people have been getting, you know, hang-ups with the firearm using 115 grains within that 200 round break-in. But after that 200 round, it runs flawlessly. So they pretty much suggest that because their tolerances are really tight with this gun. So you could get like the hang up somewhere in those first 200 rounds. So if you're using 115, so I think I'm just going to go straight into the 124s. If I don't get any hang-ups in the first 100 rounds of the 124s, then that next 100, I will probably run 115s. So with all that being said, yeah, I love this thing already. Haven't even shot it. Gonna do the actual break-in and actually record that and I'm gonna try to show every round that's shot for those first 200 rounds and see how many hang-ups or how many malfunctions we have with it, and give it a pretty, I'm not gonna oil it. I'm gonna let it run with the factory oil. So I think that just about going to do it for this unboxing. Let me know in the comments how you like this. I like it. Are you into the Gucci Glocks, or do you just keep your Glocks stock and run them, throw a light or maybe an optic on them? what do you do? For all you Glock fans out there, what do you like doing to your Glocks, if you like doing anything at all? Pretty large mag though. Well, thank you for watching. That will be it for this video. Stay tuned for the next, which will be the actual break-in for this particular firearm. Peace.